Carol Parisi with Champion News for our very special Champion News Alert. And with me today in studio, I have Lenny Jarrett. Hi, Lenny. How are you?
Hello, I'm doing good.
Hey, Lenny. The IRS. There was a big protest downtown, all over the country. What happened there?
Well, I attended the protest in Downers Grove, and what was very surprising, the local police were there for traffic control, of course, no big deal, but the Department of Homeland Security vehicle drove past the crowd twice, and we have it on video, and we have pictures of it. But not only Downers Grove, they also were monitoring the groups in Cincinnati, Florida. It was a big presence in St. Louis, and from what we understand from reports coming out of Los Angeles, they even had helicopters flying over the protest in Los Angeles, monitoring the protests at the IRS offices.
How did you know they were Department of Homeland Security?
Well, the vehicles have Homeland Security on the side of the vehicle. So a white vehicle and it has Department of Homeland Security on there.
Wow. Wow. Is Big Brother watching us, Lenny?
Oh, absolutely. My guess is the windows were darkened, so you can't see what's going on in there, but we had almost about 200 people or so at Downers Grove. They drove past. They could have easily been filming all of us, and I tried to go back and identify everybody was at that event very easily, and we would have no idea, but it's just what are they really doing? They already are intimidating conservative groups. Now they're driving by when you're having a protest for no.
Was there any illegal things going on? Was anybody being violent or anything? From the video, I don't see anything.
No, I mean there's families there and just people of all ages there, and they're just standing by the road, trying to get people to honk and showing them when the signs are there. It was very peaceful, very. It was a fun gathering, and people were having fun sitting there talking about what's been going on and how they were targeted.
And all cleaned up afterwards,
yes,
typical grassroots fashion.
Exactly.
Is there anything? There's nothing illegal about people gathering peaceably. Isn't that our First Amendment right?
Amendment rights.
And now the people that are gathering peaceably are being intimidated by Homeland Security. And you're saying in Los Angeles there were helicopters?
Yes, that's the reports out of Los Angeles. There were actually helicopters flying over the protest.
Lenny, there's something that Janet Napolitano was talking about, a domestic terrorist list. Who do you think is on this domestic terrorist list?
From the documents that have been leaked out, anybody that's Tea Party or anybody that believes in limited government, actually a lot of the evangelical Christians were on the list, Oath Keepers, Promise Keepers, any group that believes in limited government or actually believes in evangelical religions is on that list. And it's amazing that we're on the same list. Evangelical Christians are on the same list with Al-Qaeda and the Muslim Brotherhood. We're on the same list with them.
Oh, boy. You know what? This is getting more frightening by the day.
Yes,
Americans need to wake up. They need to awaken and smell the tea.
Yeah.
Actually, coffee is my preference. But what should people do? I mean, this is not a Democrat thing or a Republican thing. This is a foundation of our country.
It's the foundation of our whole society, and the only way you're going to stop it is you've got to go talk to your congressmen, your senators, your state house reps, and start looking at who actually is running our country and start electing good people, really vetting our candidates again. Too many people are just disengaged.
We need
and
bold
that's a problem.
people.
And we need bold people to step up and give the information and not be intimidated. That's the one thing they do. They rely on intimidation to keep us quiet, and the more of us that actually speak up, we can win.
Lenny, do you think there's such a thing that the powers of the IRS, utilizing a domestic terrorist list, could go ahead and intimidate tax-paying American citizens utilizing that power of the IRS?
Oh, absolutely they can. I mean, it diminishes. There's groups in Illinois that basically stopped raising money because of what the IRS was doing to them. They did not want to go through the hassle anymore. So they lost their effectiveness during the last election cycle. Plus, the person that was in charge of the tax-exempt part of the IRS is now in charge of the Obamacare implementation. So yes, conservatives and those people on the domestic terror list can be targeted under Obamacare in the coming future.
So why you were here today?
Because the IRS is infringing on our rights and pretty much prosecuting conservatives alone.
We incorporated in the spring of 2011 and decided to apply for the 501c4 nonprofit status so that we could then turn around and apply for an Illinois bona fide civic organization, which would allow us to put forth people to be voter registrars, because one of the things we wanted to do was promote the idea of people being registered and voting. Okay, so we put this in. After about 4 months of hearing nothing, we called, our treasurer called up and asked, and she was told it's in the pile.
Lenny, what can people do about this? If the IRS is going to target people, there's no incentive to go out and be bold. It's frightening. They could devastate your life.
They can, but that's what we need. We need people to be bold. We've got to have those people step up and tell their stories, even if it's just to the congressman or anonymously to reporters. Reporters will love stories like this, because if we don't step up and stand up for our rights, they're going to be taken away even further, and that's what people have to realize. You either be bold or you're giving up your freedom even more.
Lenny, what can people do about this? If the IRS is going to target people, there's no incentive to go out and be bold. It's frightening. They could devastate your life.
They can, but that's what we need. We need people to be bold. We've got to have those people step up and tell their stories, even if it's just to the congressman or anonymously to reporters. Reporters will love stories like this, because if we don't step up and stand up for our rights, they're going to be taken away even further, and that's what people have to realize. You either be bold or you're giving up your freedom even more.
You know what? Be bold. Step up. If you are being targeted, if you feel that you are being unjustly focused on, step up. We'd like to hear from you at championnews.net. Go to editor@championnews.net. We want to hear your story.